Alright guys, we're going to go ahead and get started. As you can see, right now we're working inside an office building. Alright, this is actually an office area. We right now have 4 boxes set out. What's going to happen is we're going to go ahead and get Roxy going ahead. This is just a basic. This is what I would do the first time that a dog was going to be working. Alright, some of the things we want to think about as we do this, like right now, I'm starting in a relatively easy area. The only downside to I think of this office right now is it has a very strong scent in here already. I'm assuming it's one of those deodorizer type things. And so that is very strong in here, which it's not really going to affect the dogs in terms of just looking for food. But we want to make sure when we start this, especially with a dog who's brand new to this sport, that give them time to actually scent this whole room. Come in, sniff the boxes, let them know what they are, because we don't want them finding a box. We want them to find eventually that odor. Now in this room there's not going to be that much of air movement. There could be if we were using hot air, blown air type heating system, or even during the summer if there was circulating air from air conditioning. That could move the scents around, could move them up, down. So if I was to start doing this, I would definitely not want to be going to an exhaust type airport, because then that air is just going to push that scent all the way around. Realistically, it could even be worse the other way. If you put it in an intake, you could scent the entire building really quickly. So that's what you're going to have to worry about inside. Outside, you're going to have to think about wind, humidity. Sometimes that colder air will settle, the warmer air will rise, could move that scent around. You need to worry about, is your dog healthy? Do they have a cold? All right, those different types of things you always want to think about, because that can affect the quality of your dog's search. So what we're going to do now is Roxy's getting ready. You can see Roxy's already moved towards that more of a not a harness, but it's the flat buckled collar, and they have more of a tracking type lead. So what we're going to be doing is I'm going to ask Beth if she's ready, and I'm going to go ahead and have her go ahead and start to search the boxes. Do you have any questions, Beth?
No, I'm good.
Alright, so when Roxy goes and finds that food, finds that box, I would be really excited about it. Yes, good dog. You can go down there, pick up that food, and go ahead and let her eat that. Alright, let her know that she's done really good.
Right.
At this point in time, this is basically a novice dog. All I really care about is the fact that your dog finds the food.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Go ahead and start.
Hey, Rox, you ready? You ready? You ready? Okay, find. Yes. Good girl. Good girl.
Very good. And like I say, this right now is a very easy test because we have very limited space in here. And the boxes are pretty close. That's okay, I'll get the box.
Okay. Come here, Rox.
So now what I would go ahead and do next is we would start practicing this more and more. So now I'll be using the same box that we already have the food in, and I'm just going to start moving it around. Now, right now I'm using a dry food, but if I was worried, if I was using like a wet, liquidy hot dogs with grease, I would try not to pick up those boxes. And so in this case, I kicked the clean box just to get it out of the way, and the other box is ready to go ahead and do another search. And I like the fact that you said, I think you were using the word find with your dog.
Yep.
When you start training a dog, you don't have to say anything. I know you've already been training a little bit with Roxy, so you already have that command. But a lot of times with a new dog, I would not even worry about bringing in a verbal cue yet. I would just get them to work, and as they get better, I would start to bring that in.
Oh.
Go ahead and go again.
Ready, Rox? Hey, Rox, ready? Yes, good girl. Good girl. Nice work.
Nice job.
Good work. Nice job.
All right. Now, for training purposes, once our dog gets to understand the actual search, we know the dog is actually going through, doing everything. Like I said, we would be closing boxes. We would be starting to move them around a little bit. We would start to use different elevations, underneath a chair, on top of a chair, maybe on top of a desk, so that we can actually teach the dog, hey, look, we're not searching just the floor. We need to search different elevations. So we would be doing that. Our next step is we would now be starting to move in with our scent oils. And like I say, in this little kit that we have, it comes in a nice little tin. Right? It has holes on the top for the scent to actually get out. And what happens is we actually put a little Q-tip in there. that Q-tip, there are there's whites and there's also black Q-tips. So you could actually start to hide this in different places, so you don't even need to use the tin. In this case, we're going to be using the tin so we can try to, again, not overly contaminate the boxes. Now, as we start to search, now that I have opened this, we've already introduced that scent into the air. So our dogs already know it's here, especially considering these guys have both been searching for this already. All right? And I probably contaminated my fingers a little bit, even though I try to keep them clean. So now I would not want to touch these other boxes. Okay? So the way we would start transitioning is I would go ahead and put this inside the box along with some treats. Yep. Alright, so now I would actually be going ahead and using some treats in there. So they're finding the food, but that scent oil is there along with it. So they're going to start to associate the scent, alright, with food or something good that they're going to get for it. So they're going to start to teach them that this is what they need to find to go ahead and get their treat. Okay? So I'm actually going to close these boxes now, and when I get started, I may leave it partially open. Again, I want to make it easy for the dogs, even though we've now had closed boxes. I want to start to make it a little bit easier for them, because this is a new thing that we're doing with our dogs. Alright? So I'm going to put that down. And I'll actually search again.
Ready? Okay, fine. Good girl. Nice job. Good girl. All right. Nice work.
All right.
Good job.
Very good. Any questions on that?
No. Now, should she be watching where you're
No, like I said, this is a very small area.
No,
This
that's
is
fine.
just starting to train. But no, we will eventually want to get where she does not see what we're doing.
Right.
Initially, what we're trying to do is the human does need to know where it is, because again, remember I talked about some dogs can they'll start to come in and start to give you false signals. And so the human needs to know, okay, well, where is that? I mean, if we have 4 boxes out, which is easy because you know there's 4 boxes, but if you don't know where that scent is your dog giving you a false signal or not?
Right.
And you want to be able to reward as quickly as can and let them know. So if they find that box with it, you want to be going, yes, and coming right down in there and giving them their treat. Okay? That also is where we're talking about the treat dispensing device. Right? And we didn't really talk about this much, but we want to make sure the dog is accustomed to it and used to it. But you can actually be taking this as soon as they find it and actually throwing it down, and they're going to say, oh, I know I'm going to get food, and that's the spot. All right? So this is another way of doing it.
Okay.
But as you start to get going, no, we don't want the dog to know where, but we want the human to know. And through a process of either shaping, you can actually get your dog just to offer a behavior. And you can actually, like with Roxy, I know Roxy likes to look at you. A lot of times she will sit when she actually finds that scent. All right, so she can actually just look up at you. You could click and then come down there and give her food. Okay? But as we get going through the process to actually earn the badge, neither you or the dog will know where that scent is. So what we'll actually be doing is somebody will come through, hide it in this space, and then we will actually ask you to come in, tell me what your dog is going to do, and then go ahead and actually do the test and have your dog do the scent work.
Okay.
Any questions, guys?
Nope.
Cool. So again, those are really, really basics on how to get started teaching scent work. Most cases, I know like the canine scent work, they may go anywhere from like 4 to 6 weeks just using only food-based to start with. Then they will go ahead and move to actually going to using the food and your oil-based, okay, whatever scent you're going to be using. And then they'll move on from there, and then they'll start to make it harder and harder. All right, so although this video is, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes long, it is just the very basics of how to get started in this. All right, guys?
Okay.
Thank you.